Hello all and welcome to today's Sefer portion. Today we're going to be reading Shemot, Exodus 37 and 38. Chapter 37. In Bezalel made Olive Tav the ark of shittim wood. 2 cubits and a half was the length of it, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth of it, and 1 cubit and a half the height of it. And he overlaid it with pure gold within and without. And he made a crown of gold to it round about, and he cast for it 4 rings of gold to be set by the 4 corners of it, even 2 rings upon the side of one, upon the one side of it, and 2 rings upon the other side of it. And he made staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold, and he put Olive Tavet the staves into the rings by the side. So he put all the staves into the rings by the side of the ark, to bear Olive Tav the ark. And he made the mercy seat of pure gold. 2 cubits and a half was the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the breadth thereof. And he made 2 cheruvim of gold, beaten out of one piece, made he them. On the 2 ends of the mercy seats, 1 keruv on one end of the side, and another keruv on the other end on that side. Out of the mercy seats made he Olive Tavet the cheruvim on the 2 ends thereof, and the cheruvim spread out their wings on high, and covered with their wings of the mercy seats, with their faces one to another, even to the mercy seat ward, where the faces of the cheruvim. And he made Olive Tavet the table of shittim wood. 2 cubits was the length thereof, and 1 cubit and a cubit the breadth thereof, and 1 cubit and a half the height thereof. And he overlaid it with pure gold, and made thereunto a crown of gold round about. And he made thereunto a border of a handbreadth round about, and made a crown of gold for a border thereof round about. And he cast for it 4 rings of gold, and put Olive Tavet the rings upon the 4 corners that were in the 4 feet thereof. And over against the border were the rings, the places for the staves to bear Olive Tavet the table. And he made Olive Tavet the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold, to bear Olive Tavet the table. And he made Olive Tavet the vessels which were upon the table, Olive Tavet his dishes, and Olive Tavet his spoons, and Olive Tavet his bowls, and Olive Tavet his covers, to cover withal of pure gold. And he made Olive Tavet the menorah out of pure gold of beaten work. Made he Olive Tavet the menorah, his shaft and his branch, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers were of the same. And 6 branches were going out of the sides thereof, 3 branches of the menorah out of one side thereof, and 3 branches of the menorah out of the other side thereof. 3 bowls made after fashion of almonds, and 1 branch, a knop, and a flower, and 3 bowls made like almonds, and another branch, a knop, and a flower, set throughout the 6 branches going out of the menorah. And in the menorah were 4 bowls made like almonds, his knops and his flowers, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, and a knop under 2 branches of the same, according to the 6 branches going out of it. Their knops and their branches were of the same. All of it was 1 beaten work of pure gold. And he made Olive Tavet his 7 lamps, and his snuffers, and his snuff dishes of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold made he it, and Olive Tav all the vessels thereof. And he made Olive Tavet the incense altar of shittim wood. The length of it was 1 cubit, and the breadth of it 1 cubit. It was 4 square, and 2 cubits was the height of it. The horns thereof were of the same. And he overlaid it with pure gold, both Olive Tavet the top of it, and Olive Tavet the sides there round about, and Olive Tavet the horns of it. So in this sense, Olive Tavet is all. And he made unto it a crown of gold round about, and he made 2 rings of gold for it under the crown thereof, by the 2 corners of it upon the 2 sides thereof, to the places of staves to bear it withal. And he made all of Tavet the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with gold. And he made all of Tavet the holy anointing oil, and all of Tavet the pure incense of sweet spices, according to the work of the apothecary. Chapter 38. And he made all of Tavet the altar of burnt offering of shittim wood. 5 cubits was the length thereof, and 5 cubits the breadth thereof. It was foursquare, and 3 cubits was the height thereof. And he made the horns thereof on the 4 corners of it. The horns thereof were of the same, and he overlaid it with brass. And he made all of Tavet all the vessels of the altar, and all of Tavet the pots, and all of Tavet the shovels, and all of Tavet the basins, and all of Tavet the flesh hooks, and all of Tavet the fire pans. All the vessels thereof he made of brass. And he made for the altar a brazen grate of network under the compass thereof, beneath the midst of it. And he cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the grate of brass, to be places for the staves. And he made all of Tavet the staves of shittim wood, and overlaid them with brass. And he put all of Tavet the staves into the rings on the sides of the altar, to bear it withal. He made the altar hollow with boards. And he made all of Tavet the laver of brass, and all of Tavet the foot of it of brass, of the looking glasses of the woman assembling, which assembled at the door of the tabernacle of the assembly. And he made all of Tavet the court on the south side, southward the hangings of the court of fine twined linen, 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their brazen sockets 20. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver. And for the north side the hangings were 100 cubits. Their pillars were 20, and their sockets of brass were 20, and the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the west side were hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the east side, eastward 50 cubits. The hangings of the one side of the gate were 15 cubits, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And for the other side of the court gate, on this hand and that hand, were hangings of 15 cubits. Their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. All their hangings of the court round about were of fine twined linen, and the sockets for the pillars were of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets were of silver, and the overlaying of their hapiters of silver, and the pillars of the court were filleted with silver. And the hangings for the gate of the court was needlework of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. 20 cubits was the length, the height, and the breadth was 5 cubits, answerable to the hangings of the courts. And the pillars were 4, and their sockets of brass 4. Their hooks of silver, and overlaying of their hapiters, and their fillets of silver, and all the pins of the tabernacle and the court round about were of brass. This is the sum of the tabernacle, even of the tabernacle of testimony, as it was counted according to the commandments of Moshe. For the service of the Levites, by the hand of Lithamar, son of Heron the priest, and Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hori, of the tribe of Yehudah, made all that Yehudah commanded, all of Tav et Moshe. And with him was Oholiab, son of Ahikamech, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and a cunning workman, and an embroiderer in blue and in purple and scarlet and fine linen. All the gold that was occupied for the work in all the work of the holy place, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents, and 730 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of them that were numbered of the assembly was 100 talents, and 1,750 shekels after the shekel of the sanctuary. Hebekah, for every man, that is half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary, for every one that went to be numbered from 20 years old and upward, for 600,000 and 3,550 men. And of the 100 talents of silver were cast all of Tavet the sockets of the sanctuary, and all of Tavet all the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets of the 100 talents, a talent for a socket. And all of Tavet 1,770 and 5 shekels. He made hooks for the pillars, and overlaid their capiters, and filleted them. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents, and 2,400 shekels. And therewith he made all of Tavet the sockets to the door of the tabernacle of the assembly, and the brazen, and all of Tavet the brazen altar, and all of Tavet the brass grate for it, and the vessels of the altar, and all of Tavet the sockets of the court round about, and all of Tavet the sockets of the gate, the sockets of the court gate, and all of Tavet all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the courts round about. Oh, that's it for today's Sefer portion. Until next time, may you all have a great night and a fantastic tomorrow.